Welcome, my friends, to the world of HeroQuest, a place unlike any other. Today, we're diving into a fascinating trend that's sweeping through the lives of many 40-somethings, myself included. We're talking about the incredible resurgence of vintage board gaming. Titles like the legendary HeroQuest, the epic dungeons of Advanced HeroQuest and Warhammer Quest, and the sci-fi thrills of Space Quest, Space Crusade. If you're around my age, chances are these names conjure up powerful memories. But why are adults, with our busy lives, careers, and families, suddenly flocking back to these cardboard and plastic relics of our youth? It's more than just a trip down memory lane. It's a full-blown phenomenon. The power of nostalgia is more than just fond memories for us all. It's a chance to relive our youth and share new memories with our children around the family game table. Given the ever-increasing complexity and digital nature of modern entertainment, what is it about these seemingly simpler old-school games that resonate so deeply with the generation that grew up alongside the dawn of personal computing and video games? In my first podcast-style episode, I'd like to talk about the reasons why so many of us have gotten back into the hobby and are now amassing collections of plastic miniatures and using them to dungeon dive into the night by flickering candlelight. This is the Fair Weatherman. Welcome back to the channel. Nostalgia. It's not just a fuzzy feeling. It's a complex interplay of emotions and psychology. For many of us, these games were significant parts of our formative years. Revisiting them validates those childhood joys and reinforces that these experiences were meaningful and worth remembering. And now that we're older, introducing these games to our children allow us to share a piece of our childhood, creating a powerful intergenerational bond and a new way to connect with our kids or grandkids. Board games can be a fun and entertaining way to relive those moments. Nostalgia for vintage board games is a powerful cocktail of a yearning for simpler times, a desire to connect with one's past self, the joy of authentic social interactions, and the unique satisfaction of tangible, screenless play. It's a healthy way for adults to find comfort, connection, and a renewed sense of joy in our busy lives. For many 40-year-olds, the late 80s and early 90s were a period of relative innocence. These games represent a time when entertainment was often unplugged, face-to-face, and imagination was paramount. Playing HeroQuest now takes us back to a time with fewer responsibilities and a lot more free time to just play. These weren't just games. They were social hubs. Playing HeroQuest or Space Crusade meant gathering with friends, creating elaborate stories, and even bickering over rules. Good times, right?
HeroQuest! Yeah!
Now as adults, many are reconnecting with old friends or introducing these games to new ones, recreating those cherished group moments. It's a powerful way to bond over a shared past, strengthening existing friendships, and forging new ones with people who understand what makes tabletop role-playing games so great. Think about it. As kids, we might have just lumped these games together. Miniatures, unpainted, rules perhaps a little flexible. As adults, we have the resources, patience, and often the disposable income to dive deep. We're meticulously painting miniatures, organizing game components, and truly mastering the strategies. There's a deep satisfaction in finally completing that perfect Warhammer army or running a seamless HeroQuest dungeon that might have seemed overwhelming as a child. It's fulfilling a childhood dream with adult capabilities. But why now? Nostalgia alone doesn't explain the scale of this resurgence. There are other significant factors at play that are driving adults back to the tabletop. We live in an increasingly digital world. Our jobs are often screen-based, our entertainment is streamed, and even our social interactions are mediated by glowing rectangles. Board games offer a much-needed break from this digital overload. The tactile experience of rolling dice, moving physical miniatures, and interacting face-to-face is incredibly refreshing. It's a genuine offline experience that many adults crave. In an era where it's easy to feel isolated despite being constantly connected online, Board games provide authentic social interactions. Local game stores are thriving, board game cafes are popping up, and online communities dedicated to these vintage titles are buzzing. Shout out to HeroQuest fans. These games offer a fantastic excuse to gather, share stories, strategize, and just enjoy real, unadulterated human connection. Something that's becoming increasingly valuable in today's world. The highly successful re-release of HeroQuest in recent years speaks volumes. It's easier than ever to get your hands on these classics. Whether it's a shiny new expansion or tracking down original copies through online marketplaces and secondhand stores, eBay happens to be my favorite, the barrier to entry, which might have been finding dusty old copies in an attic, has significantly lowered. While modern board games can be incredibly intricate, vintage games often strike a different balance. Some, like Warhammer Quest, offered surprising depth for their time, encouraging strategic thinking and creative storytelling. Others, like HeroQuest, were simpler, acting as gateways to more complex RPGs. For adults, revisiting these games allows us to appreciate their elegant mechanics, or even discover a new layer of strategy that might have been missed as kids. It's a chance to play with a mature understanding of game design and appreciate all the wonderful hand-drawn art. Now let's tackle some interesting questions that often come up about this trend. While the initial surge might have been fueled by the immediate excitement of re-releases, I believe it's a lasting trend. The underlying reasons, nostalgia, digital detox, and other desires for social connection are not going anywhere. As long as we continue to spend more time online, the appeal for tangible face-to-face entertainment will only grow. Plus, the community around these games is robust, with new content creators, fan-made expansions, and events keeping the flame alive. It's more than just a fad. It's a cultural shift for those of us wanting to get out and meet someone who's also interested in the hobby. How do these vintage games compare to modern board games? Are they better? Well, better is subjective, of course. Modern board games have evolved significantly, often featuring more complex mechanics, deeper narratives, and innovative components. They often have a simpler elegance that can be very appealing. They also carry a powerful emotional weight for those who grew up with them. It's less about being superior and more about offering different, equally valid gaming experiences. Many adults enjoy both. Where someone might love Warhammer, another might love Warhammer Quest. Both offer similarities, but appreciate the love of collecting and painting miniatures, even if they are 30 years apart. What about the cost? Are these vintage games becoming unaffordable? Well, that's a valid concern. Original copies of rare vintage games, especially complete ones, have indeed fetched high prices on the secondary market like eBay due to collector demand. However, the re-releases, like the new HeroQuest First Light, are making them much more accessible at a standard retail price. Furthermore, the thriving secondhand market and online communities mean that with a bit of patience and searching, you can often find a good deal. And remember, the value isn't just monetary. It's about the experience and the memories they create. Is it really about playing, or is there a collecting aspect too? Yes. For many of us, it's a strong combination of both. There's immense satisfaction in tracking down those elusive expansions, completing a set of original miniatures, or even finding a pristine unopened box, which I think is a shame. Board games should be taken out and played. The act of collecting itself is a hobby, and for vintage board gamers, it often goes hand in hand with the joy of playing them. It's like curating a personal museum of childhood treasures that you can actually interact with. If you're anything like me, you want to have everything HeroQuest. Well, I take that back. I'm not so obsessed about collecting the many different dice variations that they've released, along with the dice rolling trays. Those things don't seem to interest me as much. So there you have it. A few compelling reasons why 40-year-olds, myself included, are diving back into the wonderful world of vintage board games like HeroQuest, Warhammer Quest, and Space Crusade. It's a beautiful blend of nostalgia, community, and the simple joy of screenless play on an adult budget. So what are your favorite wargaming board games growing up? Have you dusted off any old classics recently? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more content, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on the next one. Until then, happy gaming. As always, Danger, you will soon discover, lurks in every shadow. Come, let the quest begin.